27 national EU leaders will today be discussing a proposal from the European Commission that came out yesterday to confiscate the windfall profits from seized Russian assets. Now, this isn't seizing the entirety of the 210 billion euros that are held in Europe from the Russian central bank. This is only taking the windfall profits, basically the interest that that money generates, and giving it to Ukraine. The big controversy has been that some countries don't want that money spent on weapons. So that's the neutral countries, Austria and the islands of Malta, Cyprus, and Ireland, and also the more Russia-leaning countries, Hungary and Slovakia, which say that continuing to arm Ukraine is unnecessarily prolonging the war. And so yesterday we saw this proposal adjusted that only 90% of those proceeds will go toward weapons and the other 10% will go toward the Ukrainian budget. So we'll see today if that's enough to convince those wavering countries. The thing is, even that 90% is going toward the European Peace Facility, which is the facility that's already been set up to send EU money to buy weapons for Ukraine that's bought on national level. That's already been adjusted for the neutral countries to make sure that countries like Ireland, which are constitutionally forbidden from participating in war, aren't sending weapons but are actually sending other types of things. Now, I'm being told we shouldn't expect a resolution on this today because there's a lot of legal issues here. You might be asking, why don't they just confiscate the entire 210 million euros that is being held here? Well, that's because EU countries, particularly here in Belgium, where a lot of that money is, are worried about the legal challenges to that actually eventually that would work its way through international courts, and they would have to give that money back with interest. So it would actually end up costing the EU countries money to have made this legal mistake. They're still a little worried even about taxing these windfall profits. So they need lawyers to look into this, but they'll discuss it today. The big issue today will be the principle of whether or not these neutral and Russia-friendly countries can tolerate the money going toward weapons.